Hi, I'm Hazel. It's Saturday today, which makes it time to sit down and catch up on the WoW news of the week, what I have been up to, and answer some of your questions. This week, Brewfest has begun. It is live now and will run until October the 6th, and there are 2 new cosmetics available to collect this year. The first one is the Brew Barrel toy. It is available for 200 Brewfest tokens on any Brewfest vendor. It's going to put you onto a rolling barrel for 30 seconds on a 10-minute cooldown, and while you are rolling, there is no stopping unless you're stopped by terrain. Be careful using before you pull bosses in raids because you might just roll right into them. Secondly, there is this orange Brewfest Bulwark shield appearance that you can purchase for 200 tokens on the vendor. This is a similar looking thing to a recent trading post item that was actually a back piece. My first thought when I saw this was, wow, this would be cool for a Brewmaster monk. And then my second thought was, they don't use shields, do they? Dwarf tanks. That's the move. Both of those items can be purchased on the vendor. There's also a new achievement that you can get this year for doing Dragon Isles Brewfest activities. That is, visiting the 12 bars around the Dragon Isles and paying their tab, which seems to involve giving no money and taking Brewfest tokens. You get 10 per inn, there's 12 inns, 120 tokens for visiting all of them. So if you are trying to save up Brewfest tokens to catch up on the event cosmetics, maybe use a couple of characters and just do a lap of the inns. That gets you 120 right there. And then you combine that with the other one-time per event things like the Elixir Parade, and you will have your 200 tokens in no time. I did not find an add-on that would mark those like Brewfest beer tab locations across the Dragon Isles on my map. I tried Candy Buckets and I checked Handy Notes. No luck at this time, but if anybody has a map add-on for that, please pop it in the comments and share the love. I just did it by going through the Wowhead comment coordinates that somebody posted. And then this is the new seasonal dragon riding customization that is specific to Brewfest. It is a saddle for the renewed Proto Drake. Looks like this. This has a chance to drop out of your daily Corrin Dire Brew chest. So on a level 60 or higher character, you can queue up once a day to do the holiday boss, and the chest that you get for doing that has a small chance to contain this. We don't know quite what the drop rate is yet, but it does not seem high, so good luck. Other news this week, a welcome change coming in patch 10.2. The Ember Court is now going to be a daily cooldown rather than a weekly, so you'll be able to replay the Ember Court every single day if you choose to do so, which will be a great way to speedrun it for anybody that's going to back to get all the old cosmetics. There's lots of good stuff from Ember Court, up to and including the Party Herald title, and it shall now be much easier to collect. And if you've never done the Ember Court, then maybe 10.2 will be a good time to check it out. And that's what we got this week for 10.2 news. Raid testing and Mythic Plus testing are both well underway, so people are trying out their new class sets and trinkets. You can log on to the PTR and test those yourself if you like. It is the public test realm. You do not need to be selected for an invite. You can just go play. And then in my WoW life this week, I'm having a hard time transitioning back into retail from Hardcore Classic because I don't want to. My Hardcore Classic Warlock is level 31 and 80%, so she's leaning on 32. At this point in her life, I am less inclined. I'm kind of catching up on like green and gray quests, but I'm more in the mood to just find grind spots and put on some music and then just grind mobs because you make so much gold doing it. You get good greens and then you sell them and then you use that gold to buy greens that are good for you, and it's just a big slot machine, but it's been keeping me busy. Also, according to Deathlog, somewhere in the neighborhood of 96% of warlocks die before level 30, so I feel a need to stick it out as long as I can for all the ones that didn't make it. And then questions for this week. Scalper wants to know, what would your ideal expansion be like theme-wise? So I'm not hyper invested. I'm kind of somebody that's pretty happy with wherever we go, but if it was up to me and I had to pick, I would want to see something that is focused on the light and on Naru and the power of the light and the different ways the light manifests for the different races as kind of a morally gray power, and then like the dangers of righteous fury. So some more zealotry, maybe some more Scarlet Crusade stuff. I think there's lots of fresh themes and storytelling available in that quadrant. I know that the void exists as an opposite to the light, but we've had a lot of void content, so I'd like to see some more light stuff. And I think there could be some very lovely cosmetics attached. And then Ali on PC wants to know, if you could implement any class race combo, what would it be and why? It's really Hazel's Magic 1 3 Wishes Day. I thought about this, and my answer is totally cheating, because I will say gnomes as everything. Gnomes as druids, where they either turn into baby animals or mechanical animals or baby mechanical animals. Gnomes as demon hunters, where they have mechanical wings and then like lasers for the eye beam, you know? Gnomes as shamans with gear-based totems, kind of like what goblins have. Gnomes as evokers with flame cannons and sprinklers, and like gnomes as everything. But if I had to pick just one of those things to bring to life, I think the Gnome Demon Hunter, because it would be so good for Demon Hunters to be only available to Night Elves, Blood Elves, and Gnomes. And then Griffin asks, if they did new specs for existing classes, what sort of specs would you like to see? So, in Hazel's big wish list day, I would want Priest to get another range DPS caster spec that is based on holy damage. So take your holy fire and your smite and your halo and divine star, get a bunch of new buttons, build out an actual functional range DPS spec, and then you can tie it right into that light themed expansion. Get some righteous wrath going on in there. I think that would be really fun. I think that there's plenty of priests that would like to be able to have a DPS spec to use or to quest in that isn't Shadow, which is like very different thematically from the regular priest kit. And it would be another caster DPS that's maybe a little bit more traditional than Dev Evoker with like a proper 40-yard range. And that has been the week. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions for a news video, please pop them in the comments of the most recent one and include the word question to help me find them. I appreciate you guys. Stop by a stream sometime if you like. I've been streaming my hardcore classic journey, and I will eventually need to start gearing up my my retail main, my new priest, as well as finishing off some end of patch solo shuffle. That's all on Twitch. Thank you guys so much and have a wonderful, wonderful day.